If you are quiet, yes. But if I hear any screaming, you can come straight back in. What day is it today? I don't even know. It is currently Sunday. I'm just about to make myself some oat flour blueberry pancakes for breakfast. So I'm getting all my measuring cups. I'm still like half asleep. The craving for coffee today is still very strong. I will not fucking lie. Where's my measurements, yo? Yeah, I'm just feeling tired. Cycle day 5 today. I actually did a major clean of my house yesterday. So I'm like, maybe I'm actually just I did too much too soon. I'm a bit exhausted from that. Okay, well that's like half and then I'll do a full cup. Yeah, I think I'm a bit exhausted from that, possibly. A lot happened yesterday that kind of threw me off as well. Like I was just feeling really like forgetful and scattered in the mind and stuff. So it kind of like ruined my fucking day, to be honest. Like had to climb through the window of my toilet because I locked my keys in the house, like first thing in the morning. And then I must have stood on something when I was climbing over the toilet. And anyway, long story short, caused the whole toilet to basically flood the bathrooms. Had to get a plumber out. Plumber was here at like 6 o'clock last night. Had the water off, then the water on. Anyway, it's all fixed. But yeah, I was beside myself, to say the least. Like I was fucking beside myself. So yeah, and then I've woken up this morning really like no bloating at all, which is just crazy. Like I'm stoked about it. Like I'm hungry right now, but like I cannot believe. I'm obviously post-bleed now as well, and like this is the front, but I can notice how I've even lost a bit of weight here, or fluid, or you know, the stress levels going down because the pockets, and I can notice like my shirt's less tight as well. And that's honestly what I say to women too when they're losing weight. Scale weight is going to fluctuate because it doesn't factor in. Like we look at the scale weight and we're like, oh my God, it's just fat. It's like, it's not, it's fluid. It's your uterus growing at a certain point in your cycle. Yeah, it's the contribution. Wait. Yeah, there are a lot of contributing things when it comes to that. So I'm always like, try not to, like the scale weight is good to just like have a rough idea, but I wouldn't solely go off that. I'd go off like what you're visually seeing, like tangible evidence that way, how your clothes are feeling, you know, what you're actually noticing in that sense, because it's far better to go like that. And often measurements are a good way as well to really see the difference. Like if you're actually measuring your arms and your waist and things like that, if you want a point of measure. If not, and you're happy to just kind of like roll with it, because it's disheartening when you get on the scales and it's like one day it's this, the next day it's that, and it's like that's going to fluctuate throughout the course of your cycle anyway. Like I'm just going to tell you that for free. But yeah, I've just noticed I'm really feeling the coffee cravings are so real. Like it's actually feeling hard at this point. I have a peppermint tea in the morning. That's pretty much it. Yeah, now we're just gonna make the pancakes.
That's straight away. Like I just did like 2 jumps.
Look at that. Blueberry pancake mix. Good morning. It's Monday today. I am off to the gym. That's currently what's on the agenda. I've had 2 eggs on rice cakes with kale for breakfast. And that's basically the intro to episode 3. So let's go with today. Today's not Monday either. Did I say it's Monday? Today's Tuesday. Yesterday was Monday, but it was a public holiday. So today kind of feels like Monday. Anyway, let's go. In the gym, not bloated at all really today. Like that's relaxed. Like that's if I'm like letting my belly relax, which I mean, hello. If I'm tensing, it looks like that. So we're getting there. We're making progress, friends. We really are. Oh, can't get my undies back up now. We're really making progress. Haven't really trained like abs per se in the gym. I'm not really one to train abs because as long as the pelvic floor is activated and the core is switched on, no matter what, and it should be when you're training, no matter what exercise or movement you are doing, if that's locked in, you're working your core, you're working your abs. You don't need to technically do abs, you know, but that's just me. That's just me. I do sometimes. I do incorporate it sometimes. A teaspoon of this. Just a teaspoon of sugar helps the medicine go down. The medicine go down. The medicine go down. Okay. No joke. I literally baked a date, like really healthy caramel slice the other day, and I tried a bit and it literally made my gut so inflamed. So it's sitting in there for the rest of my family to eat. How much fun is that? Okie dokie. It's currently Friday. Yesterday was like hell on earth for me. I've just finished a grocery shop, so while I unpack my groceries, let's unpack what happened yesterday. I thought as well I could maybe do like a little like mini grocery haul, just so you can see what I've got. Good news as well. Jumped on the, let me get my dog out of her thing, 1 second. So I got on the scales this morning and I was 62.9 kilograms. When I first started my low histamine situation, dieting, if you want to call it that, fueling, I was 65, close to 66 kilos. The heaviest I've ever been is post-pregnancy, which, I mean, hello, just grew and birthed a whole human. Lots of fluid, lots of the uterus shrinking back, lots of weight. I think the heaviest I've ever been is about like 78, maybe not even that heavy, maybe 75 kilos at the end of pregnancy and postpartum. Prior to having my second baby, I was 52 kilos, and that was pretty good baseline for me. Anything below that is getting a bit ridiculous. The lightest I've ever been is 49 kilos, and it was unfucking sustainable. I barely would eat, so I'm not about that life anymore. I think that is a massive contributing factor to my binge eating habits, because I would restrict for so long and then I would binge and restrict and binge, and it was just like how it was growing up as a dancer when you were told that you were fat when you actually weren't fat. Do you know what I'm saying? So it fucks with your head. Anyway, I'm going to have to tell you all about what happened yesterday, because I really didn't want a camera in my face yesterday, and if I'm being honest. I did share a little snippet. Got all the meat here. I did share a little snippet on my Instagram stories about how my man was like essentially talking me off a cliff because I wanted to like get takeout. And in my mind, I was freaking battling with myself, going like, you know, this is not gonna help you and how you're feeling. Like, I wanted the quick fix feeling. I wanted the dopamine release. I wanted, like, for those that don't know too, like, binge eating and ADHD are besties because it's a form of dopamine release, right? So when we don't have enough dopamine in our brain, we like seek out things that are going to provide that for us. So for some people it might be doom scrolling, for others it might be gambling, for others it might be you know, sex addiction, for others it might be food, and that's like what it is for me, right? So like that's very prominent in when I am reaching for an external source to make me feel that dopamine release, like in my brain. So like when I wasn't getting that, I was getting super angry and frustrated, but I was also getting really fucking emotional and really sad about having to eat the same thing. I'm also really fucking bored, I guess. So like I've just done a big grocery shop and I'm hoping that I can not be as bored with what I'm eating. I can fill in the gaps because I'm a snack artist as well. Like, just FYI, like all I would do prior to this is snack, 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 bored, snack, go to the fridge and snack. And I've done that since the beginning of fucking time. My kids do that as well. So that's been the hardest thing for me though. If I have like grapes in the fridge and I open the fridge and I'm like in a snacky mood, I'll just grab a handful of grapes and I'll eat those. I think as well, there's also this thing known as, fuck, what is the actual terminology for it? Like oral fixation? So potentially like, I don't know, you're trying to fill the space essentially. You know, my sons chew their fingers, one in particular, nail biting. It's like a sensory thing. It's like a sensory seeking thing. And again, I feel like that comes back to the dopamine levels. I'm just like giving you some insight into my brain. Yeah, so like that's a massive deal for me. And it's also been at that crossroads of like either we revert back to what was not serving us and what me particularly, and what was not feeling good for me, what was making me sick essentially, or we continue following this path that we've chosen to follow and acknowledge that those things are present, love on them, but don't give in to them kind of thing. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Anyway, I need to get this meat in the freezer, some of it. So my man ended up making me some, what did he end up making me? Like homemade fried rice with basmati rice, egg, turkey mince, herbs and spices that I feel good to have, and like capsicum, carrot, zucchini. I think that was it. But honestly, it was real good. It was real good. I just appreciate him for doing that because I was really like not in a good way. And it actually led to a beautiful conversation with my son as well about how we can do hard things, because he didn't have a very good day yesterday either at school, and you know, it almost led to him not wanting to go today, and we deal with this a lot. And so yeah, I just kind of said to him, you know, I explained the situation, like mummy's really wanting a certain food that doesn't make my tummy feel good, and I'm trying really hard not to, you know, to eat right. Like I'm trying really hard to take care of my body. And even though I really want to eat like, I didn't say naughty foods, but like sugary foods, you know, or bad food, I know I can do hard things, and you as well can do hard things. And so it was a really beautiful moment. And that also just reminded me that, hey, like I'm also the example for them, you know. I'm also showing them what's possible when we get past the limitations of our own minds. Like that's really all that it comes down to, right? And I mean, other things, of course, external to us can have great impact on our experiences. But yeah, at the end of the day, like we always have a choice to engage in certain things, to eat certain things, to behave certain ways, you know? And so that's really what I'm trying to teach them. So yeah, I feel like that's just a brief update. Yeah, I was very emotional about it, but I feel a lot better today, you know. So let's see what I got at the shops anyway. I'll just put this meat in the freezer and then I'll come back to you. All right, we're switching it up for a sec. I'm just gonna bring you to the other side of my kitchen. I also do intend to, sorry, I'm out of frame. I also do intend to share some like recipes and things like meals that I've actually been having. I hope I haven't turned anybody off by saying like I'm bored, but like I'm genuinely so fucking bored with what I've been eating. But I know I'm reminding myself that, you know, I, yes, can do hard things, but also that I'm nourishing my body. I'm nourishing my body. Like what could be worse than that? Literally nothing. So your body is literally a temple, and so you need to treat it like one, and that's where I'm at with that. So I've got, my boys eat rye bread, so that's for my kids. I myself didn't buy any bread because the gluten-free bread in the supermarket is full of fucking emulsifiers and seed oils and fucking shit that disrupts your gut anyway. So it's like, what the fuck is the point? Cool, it's free from gluten. That's great. But what it's not free from is every other fucking additive and preservative that they fucking add in the bread. It's like, okay, I can't speak. It defeats the whole fucking purpose, right? So I'm yet to find a good gluten-free organic bread. Anyway, we got sweeto potatoes, more. And honestly, if somebody showed me this yesterday, I would have thrown it at you. Because I said this to my man, if I have to look at another sweet potato, I'm going to throw something at the wall. That's a direct quote from the horse's mouth right there. After next week, I'll slowly introduce avocado again because it is obviously so fucking good for you. But right now, I just need to go like bare minimum with what I've been consuming so I could just give my gut like time to reset. So that's, yeah, that. Obviously, blueberries, I got organic zucchini. I got also organic medjool dates. I've heard better things about these. I could maybe still be upset by these, but apparently these are better than the other dates that I had. So I'll try some of those maybe with like cream cheese or some shit. Who knows? More blueberries, strawberries, which I need to wash. I can't eat those either. That's for my kids because they also probably shouldn't eat them, to be completely honest with you, but one fucking thing at a time, you know? I'm gonna force myself lovingly to eat this shit. It's celery, okay? I don't want to, but like, maybe if I just put some like, something on there, I don't know. I was gonna say almond butter. I feel like almond butter would be okay. I've felt okay with the almond butter. Some people have reaction or flare up, not flare up, but like almonds can be a histamine liberator. Capsicum, or bell peppers, some people call those. Bananas, which I also can't fucking eat just now, for my kids. I'm such a banana fiend as well. We got the wild refills for the stinky pits. Lovely, lovely. I also got some stir fry steak bits because I want to do like kind of like a Thai style curry, but obviously without the curry paste. Don't know what that's going to taste like, but we'll get to that. Bag. What else do we get? We got grapes. I also got watermelon. The kids requested that. I'm also done buying packet popcorn, so we're going to make our own just from corn kernels, right? Obviously. Also, we're approaching Lammas, which is one of the 8 Sabbath festivals, and you can do a super cute like popcorn sort of ritual with your family, which is super cute. And I'm really leaning into the Sabbats and like really celebrating them, really being in tune with the earth cycles and stuff. So yeah, I thought approaching Lammas, that would be really cool. But also for me, because I can add ghee, I can add sea salt, I can add olive oil to the popcorn, and I'm okay to eat it then. Versus packet shit that has preservatives, additives. It's also not great for the kids, like, and they love popcorn. So I was like, fuck it. This was like $1. I'm gonna get bags of this. I'm gonna make it ourselves. I'll put it in containers or you know, Ziploc bags or something. Probably not a Ziploc bag. Actually, I do have those. Yeah, I do. Okay. Or just like have it in a container so they can pull from it when they want it, and I can put it in their lunchbox. Anyway, I'm rambling, but I also got coconut cream for my stir fry when I have it. Treats for my little doggy girl. More oat flour, because that's like a staple in this fucking house now when I make my little sweet oat flour pancakes, and I've really been loving that as like a sweet snack with sugar-free maple. That has been getting me through some of those like harder craving times. We've got corn, which was also in celebration of Lammas because I wanted to do something with that. I just feel like it's the coming of autumn. I'm celebrating the seasonal shift, the harvest, you know. So that's what we got the corn for. Also to eat it because I genuinely like corn. More green beans, a massive fuck off watermelon, which I'm actually gonna need to cut. So I'm just gonna leave that there for a second. Mangoes on mangoes on mangoes. Mango, it's like citrusy fruits that you kind of want to avoid. You can slowly reintroduce these things, but like it's recommended that you only introduce one thing sort of at a time. So like for me next week or the week after, it might be like, okay, now just try some avocado, see how that goes in my tummy. Okay, next week maybe I'll add in some banana and like see how that goes. And then I know I can kind of somewhat pinpoint what's setting me off. But also the thing with histamine is like, and I've said this 6 million times, no doubt, in the episodes, but if you're only seeing this one, like it's accumulative. Like stress is accumulative in the body, right? But also so is histamine. So it's like higher histamine foods, and the more that you consume, it's gonna like stack and stack and stack and stack till eventually you're gonna have a flare. Whereas like maybe if you're eating just one thing that's high in histamine, then you can kind of pinpoint, okay, that was the thing that kind of sent me over the edge. Anyway, it's all about, for me, improving my gut so that I am able to better tolerate these things. And I don't think I'll be reintroducing coffee like ever again, to be completely honest with you, because I think that's a major issue for me in terms of not only my gut health, but stress and my adrenals. Like it's just, it's not worth it to me. It's actually not worth it. I would honestly rather be tired at this point. And this is all coming back to like choosing your hard, right? It's like choose your fucking hard, because what's harder? For me, what's harder is like being in the fetal position, curled over, like with the biggest fucking gut, looking like I'm 6 months pregnant, right? Nothing fitting me. I'm uncomfortable, feeling unhealthy, low energy, brain fog, like all the things that I was experiencing prior to doing this. Or having a craving every now and again that feels really hard because I want to give in, you know? Or yeah, buying food that is a little bit more expensive because it fucking is when you're like looking for things that are going to help you support your body, like the craziest thing. Okay, we have Pure Harvest coconut milk. I love Pure Harvest. They're like actually my favorite brand. I also got actually, which I need to put in the fridge, probiotic lactose-free fresh milk, or kefir. I've heard great things about this. 90 billion friendly bacteria, 10 live culture strains per serve. Enjoy straight up on muesli in a smoothie for your daily fix of probiotics for a happier gut. So I'm actually gonna try this and see how that goes for me as well, because I could put it in my oats. I could do, yeah, you know what you do milk with, you know? Like, be so for real, Brett. What do you mean? Like, people know what to do with the milk. I also got Cocobella coconut waters because I'm like, honestly, I'm gonna be peeing coconuts basically. Like at this point, everything I've got is freaking coconut. I also got the Cocobella natural coconut yogurt. So I'm also gonna try that because this is a better alternative than, usually I get Greek natural yogurt, but because it's fermented and you wanna kind of avoid fermented foods. Anyway, they say this is better, so I'm gonna give that a go. Billion Cocobella yogurts. This is for the kids' lunch boxes at my little boy Nash's request. He saw somebody else with a Cocobella yogurt at kindy. He's like, I want one of those squeezy yogurts. I was like, sure thing, better. I'll get it in the next shop. I got brown rice puffs because I'm going to make homemade LCM bars for my boys. I've been doing a lot of homemade stuff that they can take in their lunch boxes. I made homemade muesli bars last week for them that they've taken all week. I made date almond caramel slice, which they freaking demolished. That's the one that gave me puffy eyes and made me sick because I tasted a little slither and it fucked me. So I was like, yeah. And then how's me yesterday? I want like a Big Mac. It's like, you ate good ingredients and that fucked you up. Imagine eating a fucking frozen beef patty, if it's even beef, and a patty from fucking McDonald's with a burger bun that's probably gonna live in your insides for fucking centuries, like probably still when I'm dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the delusion that I was going through yesterday. I was like, it's not even real food. Why are you craving a fucking quarter pounder meal when you know that it's gonna make you probably watery poo out of your bum? Like TMI, but like that's probably what would have happened to me doing that. Okay, I got some more rolled oats because, well, that's all I can eat right now. It's like Regina George when she's like, sweatpants is all that fits me right now. Oats is all I can eat right now. I got some chia seeds because I'm also going to make chia seed a pudding. Don't buy any fucking roll-ups. All the shit that was in my lunchbox in the fucking early 2000s. Fucking Nutella, freaking roll-up, freaking, what else? Dunkaroos. Like, what else did I used to have in my lunchbox? LCM bars, and that's the whole thing. Like, Zaid, my eldest son, is also seeing kids come to school with like packets of shapes, which I also don't buy. LCMs, like things like that. And so I want to make the healthy version of them so that they don't feel so left out when it comes to that stuff. Because like I get it. Like, and they'll have sugar every now and again. Like I've said to them, I've promised them it's a Friday. They've done amazing this week. They'll get a slushie on the way home from school, you know? Like it's just things like that. Like you do have to live a little, and I think it's important to, but I feel like, again, it depends on where you're at and what your body is calling for. And like, you can tolerate that a little here and there, you know, like you might have a wine every now and again if that's your thing. You might be able to tolerate that. Like I just know I can't. So like I'm making the best decisions for my own body because I know best for my own body. You know what I mean? And I'm doing my absolute best to know what's best for my kids' bodies as well. So yeah, and that's the thing. Even, and I want to tie this in quickly before I like close this section of the video off. I tell my clients the same thing. Like people don't work with me for me to tell you what to do because you already know. The answers that you seek are already within. And like if they're looking for somebody to give them the answers, well, I'm not the coach for them. I'm not the one, right? Because you already know what is going on within your body. It just takes a little bit of guidance in order to find the thing, in order to go, okay, we've dug deep enough that now I understand what's happening for me, right? So this is the thing, and low key, I am going to the doctors. I was supposed to go yesterday. I also have a phobia of fucking needles, and I really don't want to get my bloods drawn. I fucking hate it, dude. I pass out every single time. But that is on my agenda. It really is, because I really want to just check everything. I want to check my iron levels. I want to check where this histamine fucking shit is happening, those levels. I want to check all of it. I need to check all of it, and I would highly recommend doing that. So I just get in my head about it. I really don't like needles. I really don't. Hate them with a freaking passion. So blood tests particularly, hate. Loathe entirely. So that is on my agenda. Acupuncture is also on my agenda. That's something that I'm trying to do to support my nervous system too. But I actually haven't gone to the doctor initially to like know that I had a histamine intolerance, if that's what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? I just have read about it. I've learnt about it. I was like, this sounds a lot like what is happening with my gut. And honestly, I looked at my man and I was like, I have been feeling this for the longest time. And we would like eat out and stuff too. And I'd like have mad reactions to food that we would eat out. And like whether it doesn't matter what it was. It would just be the worst. I'd be in pain. I'd like what would happen is if I'd like, get food poisoning. That's the same bucket that I could put it in, but I would just eat a meal and it wasn't food poisoning, but it was the same sort of thing. So yeah, I have had gut issues for a really long time. So just by eliminating things and just by knowing, okay, I know I have issues with my gut. I know I'm inflamed. I know I'm stressed. I knew that about my own body. I didn't actually really need to go and get a blood test to like identify what was happening for me. And then I've eliminated this food. It's made the biggest fucking difference. I've lost 3 kilos already, right? So like it's obviously working, and I've obviously pinpointed that one thing for me. However, it would be really useful for me to know, and I'm not suggesting that everybody do this, but what I am getting at is you do know your body best, but you can work with integrative doctors and you can work with other practitioners in order to go, okay, this is here, this level's here, let's do this, let's alter that, and potentially you might find that helpful. But otherwise, if you are someone that's so in tune with your body, or you intend to be, I'm telling you now, you have the answers. You actually do. It's just like, I really need a grape right now before I die. Yeah, anyway, that's pretty much everything I got. I did get some frozen mango, frozen blueberries, rice cakes. I got some seaweed as well, just like plain fucking seaweed as a snack. Tuna cans, I can't eat those either, which is really sad. Canned fish is out. They're for my boys because they love a tuna cheese toasty as well. And with them, I try and get their protein in as best I can. So I'm not cutting out for them just yet. And that's basically it, fam. All right, well, I'm gonna leave it here. And maybe over the weekend, I'll try and film some of the baking that I do so you have it in this episode, potentially. Yeah. And then maybe the next one. I'll see. It depends how long I've been speaking for a really long time, so you might be fucking sick of seeing my face right now. So I'll let you know once well, I won't let you know. Once I edit the video, once I edit the episode, I'll see what I can add in. But I will film what I'm baking and what I'm making for the kids over the weekend, meals that I'm eating, and I may or may not drop them in this episode or the next one. So stay tuned for that. And if this is the end of this episode, I don't know yet, but if it is, please make sure you like this video, you subscribe to my channel so that it pushes this content out to other women who really need to see this or are feeling like they're doing all the right things and they don't know this about their body. You know, I feel like this information is needed, it is required, and of course I'm going to be starting to share other things around the cycle and women's health as well on the channel. This is just a series that I'm kind of beginning with, but you liking and subscribing to the channel really helps support it, and the reason for that is so it signals to YouTube, hey, this content is really good, it's being engaged with, let's push it out to more people. So I would really appreciate that, truly. I know that's cringe when you hear people say that. I don't really give a fuck. Please support my please support my channel. Yeah, that's it. If I don't continue in this episode, I'll see you in the next one. Big love.